Hello. You guys have joined me today. I am busy cooking my legume curry that I do in bulk. And today I've got two twists to it. I made it today with some coconut oil. Also, what I've done was I prepared some sweet potato, cleaned it, and kept the skin on. Some nice ones. They weren't too dirty to start off with, and they're ready to add. So those are my two twists. So what I do is I usually saute the onions with my curry leaves, garlic, and my whole chilies that I throw in there. And just as they are now browning, I am going to add my spices. And I do a mixture of spices. This is my cumin, that is coriander powder. This is some mixture my friend gave me. This is curry. That's turmeric with black pepper, Kashmiri chili powder, a little bit. That little bit there just is enough to give it a kick. And I've added some cayenne pepper because I love it. Do not critique me on my mixtures, guys. And this is mother-in-law masala because officially today and tomorrow, depending on how you count, I am a mother-in-law for 1 year. So I'm going to be adding the spices into my pot or pan, and I am going to make sure it gets cooked before I continue. So you want to get the aromas, you know, going. It must feel the heat. Cover the onions. I'll show you how it looks. Okay. And you keep it on the heat for a little bit before you add anything to it. And depending on how I'm feeling, I will do two things. I will either add directly to it the pureed tomato. I use canned tomatoes, whole peeled tomatoes that I send through the blender. And then I add them in. That has just been a trick that my friend, who is such a good cook, her name's Lanthric. She is the one that taught me that trick. And the spices are compliments of the other friend, and Lantrik's relative, Heidi. And these spices come from Durban. I got them myself, personally purchased them myself from Durban. There's nothing better than some Durban curry spices. So yes, so let that simmer over the heat. Oh, the aroma is so lovely, and then when you feel you don't want to burn them, you just want it to cook through. And after it has done its trick, I will maybe start just making it into a little bit of a sauce with some water before adding my tomatoes. So to show you, this is my canned tomatoes that I've pureed in the blender. What else have I prepared? This is my chickpeas and lentils, yellow and brown lentils that I pre-cooked in the pressure cooker. And then I'm also adding, so this is quite a high fiber, high protein meal, some yellow dal, orange dal, sorry, getting confused with my colors. And as I said, I'll be adding sweet potatoes to this mixture as well. And what I do is I will add, as the days go on, what I feel like eating to increase my protein intake. I will add shrimps, chicken, or even eggs, boiled eggs. So I've already boiled the eggs for tomorrow's meal when I go to work. So I can take me some eggs with my curry. And that's how I do it. So I'm just going to grab some water quickly. I'm not even disconnecting, you guys. You can just stay right there. Okay, I'm going to put the heat down a little bit. Add the water in slowly, slowly to get that sauce going. Oh, I tell you, that flavor. Yeah. When that water hits. And that's the result. Excuse me. So, yep. Now I'm going to put a lot. I'm not making it watery. I'll show you in a moment. Just going to wash off some of the sauces from my ladle, my spoon. Okay. Yep. And I'm going to show it to you now, how it looks. So that's the sauce, the thickened version before I add in the tomatoes. Okay. And yeah. And when I've added in the tomato puree, this is when the curry is going to cook for about 15 minutes for me, so that the curry powders, the masalas, and all the spices I've added cooks. The worst thing is to eat curry and still get that raw powder flavor. That means that the powders and the spices haven't been cooked through. And that's the one thing that I've learned from both Heidi and Lonseric. Make sure your spices are cooked through. So there's no such thing as adding a little bit extra at the end of a curry pot. No, when you're cooking a curry pot, you can't add any extra. You do it now so that it can cook through. The worst thing is to taste those raw powders when you're eating a curry. Okay. Other ways of making my curry, if depending on what I have, if I've made my homemade almond milk, then or homemade cashew milk, I would have had some coconut cream. I will also add that to this mixture just to make it a little bit more creamy. Oh, and the taste is amazing. So now I'm at the point of adding, and I'm going to slow down the stove, the tomato puree. Okay. And don't just wash the bowl, the food processing bowl. You might want to just add some water to it and rinse off the pieces of tomato in there and add it to the pot. You don't want to lose the tomato that's there in the container. Okay. Yeah. Let's say I don't know, you how you cook, whether you do this or do this tells where you're from in India, but I'm not Indian, so that's what one of my colleagues said at work. It was so funny. And I can't even remember what she said. Where am I from? So I know I'm South African. So let's add some water. Okay, give it a stir around in here so that we can get that tomato from the bowl. See, there's quite a good amount in there. And we pour it into our pot. Oops, that's a splash. Give it a good stir. So now I think the heat has slowed down too much, so I just need to get it to a point of simmering. And I will now just heat, push it up a notch and cover the pot. And when that has cooked through after 15 minutes, the lentils, the chickpeas, the dal, and the sweet potatoes go in at the same time so that it can cook together and cook soft all together at the same time. And it will probably cook for about maximum an hour, nothing more, because it's been pre-cooked. And my curry will be ready. And what I will add is, this one, the Himalayan pink salt. Not now. I will add it after I've added the chickpeas and lentils. So yes, this is how I prepare my bulk foundation of my lentil legume dish that I will eat for all week. This is the third time in 7 days I've made it because I have shared, I have had company, and it's just been one of my firm favorites to eat as well as to present to guests. And you add what you need to it, and Bob's your uncle. But I don't know what Bob's name's here. But yes, this is my curry, and this is how I do my meal prep for the week.